Hey guys, welcome back to Thrive with Sahil. I hope everyone is having a good summer. And if you're in Australia like Abel, I hope you're having a great winters. Uh, yeah, you know the drill. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Before we start with Abel, let's go to the stories of the week. And first, we have the Commonwealth Games that are going on right now. And it almost disappeared. It was not going to happen because Australia was selected to host the games, but in 2022, Australia said, "Oh, it's getting very expensive for us." So whatever the budget they gave just skyrocketed, and yeah, they pulled out, and then suddenly there were no hosts. So they also the Commonwealth Games tried to contact other host countries, but yeah, uh, no one came forward. But then, as you know, that they are happening in Glasgow, Scotland, so they stepped up and they came in with a different perspective of like instead of having like a very big event, we can have a smaller event with less sports. We don't have to build new stadiums. They were just using the ones that they already have. Um, so basically, lower cost, less risk, and a more leaner, more compact way of having a sports event. And yeah, this raises the question about sustainability. Like, does every sporting event has to be like this huge spectacle, or also we can have something sustainable and small? Because it's in the end, it's about the athletes and not really the show that goes with it. Secondly, we have the mile run that came back. I don't know if anyone noticed that, but it used to be a 1500 meters run. But yeah, the iconic mile run has made its comeback. And almost after 60 years of absence. And yeah, people won't think that's a big deal, but it's some meters difference between a mile and 1500 meters. And it's one of the most iconic distances in the history of athletics because um, Roger Bannister was also called the Miracle Man in 1954. He was faced with Australia's John Landy, and uh, they both raced against each other, and was like it's the most photographed moment in the history of track and field. And in that, Josh Kerr, the Scotland's runner, he won the mile, won gold in front of his home crowd. So that's a great news. And thirdly, we have Adam Petty talking about his mental health, and we know how good he is. So many world records, gold medals, and yeah, for him winning is just a regular routine. But yeah, this time he's talking about his mental health, about how much struggle, how much pressure he has to deal with to keep winning, to be on the top. And in this Glasgow Commonwealth, he won a bronze. But I think in the interview he said, "Oh, that's just okay." And yeah, that just tells us how elite athletes like face his mental health problems. And yeah, and then he says that he's still aiming for the Olympics, the last Olympics. Maybe he'll do in LA in 2028. So yeah, those were the stories of the week. And we have Abel with us. Abel is joining us from Australia. He is a coach, and I'm going to let Abel introduce himself more. Abel, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, hey Sale. Thanks for having me, mate. It's a pleasure to be here. My name's Abel. I'm currently a cricket coach here in Sydney, Australia. I work for Sydney Cricket Club as a part of their women's program, and also do a whole lot of private coaching on the side as well, around Sydney. So yeah, been doing that here in Australia for almost 2 years now, and was a coach in the Netherlands, a cricket coach in the Netherlands as well for close to 5 years, which is where I started my coaching career. So yeah, been doing it for a little bit now, and really having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. But where are you from though? Are you from Australia originally?
I
I
am
mean, I know it's for the guest.
was born and raised here in Sydney, Australia. So I lived in Sydney for 14 years.
Mm,
Through my dad's work, we moved to Dubai, where I lived for 4.5 years. It's where I finished my high school, and then um, I have a Dutch background. Parents are both Dutch, and they moved here before I was born. So
mm,
only felt logical to go live in the Netherlands for a little bit as well. And yeah, I lived in the Netherlands for about 5.5 years, something like that.
mm. And when did you move to Australia?
When did I move back? Is your
Yeah,
question?
yeah.
I moved back January last year.
Okay, nice. And yeah, it might be interesting for people to know that Abel played cricket, but also other sports.
Yep, played pretty
Yeah,
much everything that I could. A lot of tennis, a lot of well, what we call here soccer, but I like to call it football.
yeah,
Um, so AFL as well, and then yeah, a lot of stuff with friends
mm,
around that as well. But cricket was the sport that I took most seriously
yeah,
and enjoyed playing the most.
yeah. That says exactly why you were born in Australia.
Exactly. Well, you saw with the Commonwealth Games, right? We tend to be pretty good at sports, and if we set our mind to being good at a sport, except for football, we tend
Yeah,
to go and achieve it. So for me, it's no
yeah,
surprise that we're dominating the Commonwealth Games, and we've
yeah,
been doing that for years, for decades
yeah,
now. So
yeah.
yeah, it's good to be
Yeah.
an Australian at the moment.
Yeah. By the way, do you know about the Australian system, the school system where they like, if you are into a sport and then you're into a particular sport, then they send you to a school that specializes in that sport. But by the same time, simultaneously, like you are also studying.
Yeah, there's a lot of schools here, especially the private schools, that will have, let's say, a stronger rugby program or a stronger cricket program, and
Mm,
um, then if you do want to, get really good at that sport and you have the ambition to become a professional in that sport, it's probably wise to try and attend one of those schools. I mean, a lot of schools offer out sports scholarships.
mm,
To people that don't live in the Sydney area here. I've coached
mm,
quite a couple of cricketers that are, from the country, let's say 4, 5, 6 hour drive from
mm,
Sydney, and um, then they get a scholarship, and they attend a boarding school
mm,
at that school, um, to really invest in their career and a prospective future career
mm,
as an athlete. Yeah, Australia's always been very, very um, strong and centered around sport and around excelling in sports, and that
mm,
that
yeah,
starts from the school level, from
yeah,
14, 13, 14, 15 years old, and kids are it's compulsory in most schools. I'm fairly sure most schools
mm,
that you have to play a sport. So even
yeah.
if you're not the most athletically inclined, you still have to play a sport. So it just again goes to show how important sport is to um, the people here in Australia.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean that's the culture of sport that there is in Australia. I think it fosters such a good athletic program, and then yeah, that's the way to dominate Commonwealth.
Exactly,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. What else? What else? What other features are there of the like Australia's like particular infrastructure or environment that supports like so many sports, but also at a very
Yeah,
good level.
I would say. I mean, you touched on it a little bit before there, where we talk about the culture, right?
Mm,
So
yeah.
that culture starts down at the grassroots level,
Mm,
where you have parents that are willing to sacrifice, a Saturday, a Sunday, or training on a Tuesday
Mm-hmm.
and a Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that their kids' team is in a position to perform well and enjoy it at the same time. But
Mm-hmm.
um, it starts there, in my opinion, where you have people that aren't getting paid for their time, and that they're still willing to sacrifice all that time and energy. But then you go look at how the government deals with sports as well. I mean, they excuse me, heavily invest in sports and in the infrastructure. I know, kind of touched on before, how Melbourne
Yeah.
pulled out because they don't have the money, but um, we do tend to invest really, really heavily into our sports infrastructure, and making sure that athletes have the right environment to excel in whatever they want to do.
Mm-hmm. And the place where you work, do you think the same environment and infrastructure is there? Uh, I'm just wondering if, like, sometimes it happens that the government is have an umbrella of infrastructure for all the
Mm,
sports,
mm,
but cricket is so big, so
yeah.
there might be multiple universities, multiple academies, and do they all gets the same attention at the same time, or is it like some academies are doing way better, some academies are struggling?
Uh, I can't say for certainty whether what clubs get more attention than the other, but um, what I do know is, as you said before, cricket is one of the, if not the biggest sport in Australia, right?
Mm. Yeah.
So naturally, especially at the level that I'm coaching at, the investment is going to be there. There might be slightly differing levels of
Yeah.
investment, but
Yeah.
the investment is going to be there. And then it's down to as well, it's not just the government that's funding the clubs. The clubs do also need to find ways to raise money
Money.
themselves,
Yeah.
um, so that they can feed that back into the club. So some clubs might be doing better than others in terms of how are they raising money themselves to improve their infrastructure,
Hmm.
improve their facilities, get better players coming to the club.
Hmm.
Um, a big thing is an indoor facility in the winter, right? That
Hmm.
you can train year round. Some clubs have an indoor facility, and some don't. So um,
Hmm.
it's a question. Yeah, I would say the attention from the government is quite similar,
Hmm.
but then it's still the club's responsibility to try and maximize how much money they're bringing in, so that they can then
Yeah.
feed that back into the club. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I think if there's money coming in, do they also have a variety of specialists and variety of professionals who are employed within the club and helping athletes? Or is there
Yeah.
a government mandated, like maybe you need to have a strength and conditioning coach, maybe you need to have a physio, maybe you need to have a psychologist. Do they have rules for this, or is it very fluid?
There's no rules for that. What I will say is, the clubs, they are aware of what the athletes need. So even if it's not compulsory, they do try their hardest to bring players to the club, and professionals to the club, that
Mm,
can help advancing the abilities of the
mm,
players. So I'll give you an example. For me, at Sydney Cricket Club, it's where Alyssa Healy started her club career before
mm, yeah,
moving on to playing, tons for New South Wales and Australia, and becoming one of the greatest players to ever play
yeah,
for Australia.
yeah,
Um, we try to get her in as much as possible to pass down that wisdom. And we have a physio and we have a strength and conditioning coach, and not on a full time basis, but the resources are there for the players if they want
mm,
if they want to use them, for sure.
mm,
So yes,
yeah.
we look to take care of our players. I don't know, mate. I'd hope they agree with that as well. But we try our best, and
Uh,
um,
no, the result
yeah,
is there. I think
yeah,
the outcome is there. So something that is definitely working now. We
yeah,
don't know, like we don't know for sure, but yeah, uh, at least Australia is on the right track. And
yeah.
you mentioned that you started coaching in the Netherlands. Did you find any differences or similarities between these two countries and the way they work?
Yeah, there's I think at the club level and especially at the youth level, you know, a normal cricket club here, like a juniors cricket club, is run similarly to the way that clubs in the Netherlands are run. It's volunteer led.
Yeah.
Usually you have two or three people that are really doing
Mm.
all of the work
Yeah.
and carrying the club. I've noticed similar things here as well, that you have two or three, maybe a little bit more people that work really hard, and without them, that there wouldn't be that club, So that similarity is, I can imagine, in pretty much every cricket playing country and every sport in the world is at that level. It's all about how hard the volunteers work, and sometimes they don't get appreciated enough. What I will say is, on the higher level is, again, you have, because there's much more resources
Mm.
here in Australia allocated for cricket. For one ground, you might have, at the level that I'm coaching at, you might have three or four groundsmen that are taking care of everything.
Yeah.
Whereas in the Netherlands, if there's a turf wicket, you'll have one groundsman who's working day and night to make sure
Yeah.
that pitch is ready to go and is prepared at the highest standard. So there's just so many more resources that they can allocate. I mean, I'm training on turf wicket every single week, whereas in the Netherlands, if that would be a luxury, right?
Yeah.
If and that would only be reserved for the first team, right?
First. Yeah.
So um, it's just the Netherlands is trying really hard. That's what I will say, and they're going in the right direction. The more they
Oh, yeah.
qualify for the World
Oh,
Cups,
yeah. Definitely.
um, we see the rise of the Netherlands, and just associate cricket in general.
Yeah.
But it's, you can't compete with the powerhouses like India, like England, like Australia.
Yeah.
It's so hard to compete with, from a
Yeah.
resources perspective as well, not just competitively. So
Yeah. But historically, that's what cricket has done. Like that's what like even countries with no resources or no money can come and beat the powerhouses. I feel because that's how it happened in the history. Like
absolutely,
colonizers had everything, but
yep.
all the people from the colonies they came and beat the colonizers. So I think it might be the same where the big
Yeah,
powerhouses, India, Australia, are like the colonizers of cricket, and
100%.
because
Yeah,
because because yeah,
absolutely.
because clearly there's a imbalance between a few teams. So I think Netherlands can do it, Zimbabwe can do it, Afghanistan
Yeah,
has already proven themselves with
absolutely.
almost no resources, so much political instability, and still managed to
I mean,
yeah,
you
play
look
such
at
good
you
cricket.
look at Ireland. You look at
Ireland,
Ireland, who just beat India in a T20 series. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
even 5 years ago, you're not thinking of that even being possible, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's not like India brought a C team over to Ireland. They
yeah,
brought their star players,
yeah,
and Ireland just won convincingly. They didn't even. It wasn't, oh, who knows, maybe if we're lucky. No, they just played really good cricket. So yeah, the gap is getting closer. It's bridging slowly but surely. So that'll be
mm,
really exciting in the next 10 years to see where, what the cricket landscape is going to look like, and do the teams that dominate, are they still going to dominate in 10 years time, or is it going to be a lot harder?
No, I think the dominance might be there, but like just one team will make it. Like one big team can make even I think for example like West Indies for example. Like they
Mm-hmm.
started really like they were the powerhouse. Like India
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a powerhouse at all in the history. Uh, West Indies was Australia was, but then West Indies went down and India came up. So I think these patterns we'll always see in actually all the sports, but in cricket
Yeah.
specifically, you will see them.
Absolutely.
very much. So yeah, and I'm really like I've seen Netherlands very closely, the cricket team, so I know that they are indeed on the right track, and yeah, they can do wonders. Especially
Absolutely.
like considering the weather conditions, like when you get don't play enough
Yeah.
cricket.
100%. 100%.
So
Yeah, they're doing very well, and hopefully it continues to go like that,
yeah,
where they only get better and better, and let's see what happens in the next World Cup and stuff like
yeah,
that. See how we do if we
yeah,
qualify.
yeah. And Abel, how old are you right now?
25.
25. And when did you start coaching?
I think around I'd say around 19, maybe, yeah, 19 I
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
So
So
I
maybe.
started with Amsterdam Cricket Academy at 19 and had no clue what I was doing, never coached
Mhm.
before, and yeah, from there just through the trust that the Amsterdam Cricket Academy put in me as well, just built my skills, got my coaching badges, and yeah, now really lucky to be back here and continue my coaching career here.
Yeah, but that's really young time to be a coach.
Yeah.
So how did you figure that path out that you want to start coaching, and how did that journey start for you?
So I always knew that I wanted to do something in cricket,
Mhm.
and something active in cricket. I'll be the first to admit I wasn't physically not the greatest cricket player ever. I was all right. I could hold a bat. I could keep a little bit, but in playing in the UAE, in Dubai, played with some incredible players who've gone on to have long international careers already. Started playing international cricket at a very young age, and I've gone to World Cups, and I was never on that level. So I thought, well, I've always felt like I've perceived cricket quite well. I read the game quite well, and I know how people work and what people need to perform at the best level possible.
Yeah.
And I felt like that went hand in hand with coaching. On top of that, I have had arthritis pretty much since I was born. So
Mm.
my knees and my ankles just could at some point couldn't hold up anymore playing cricket week in, week out, and training 2-3 days a week. And I needed something that was a little bit more sustainable for me as well. I've always loved helping other people. I'll add on to that as well. And
Yeah.
seeing the happiness that players get when they see that improvement, and when they perform at the ability that they expect themselves to perform at. It's a really satisfying, really rewarding feeling for me when you see that look on their face of, all right, I've achieved something here. So yeah, lots to love about coaching from my perspective.
Yeah, yeah. But at the same time, I think you were also learning how to coach,
Absolutely.
but also making kids learn the sport.
Yeah.
So it's like you're doing two things simultaneously, and and that process, I think, yeah, can be a bit exhausting. But yeah, as you say that you love helping people, then okay, it's not a piece of cake with kids, but I think for you it might be a bit easier.
I think it definitely got easier over time. At the start, whether I mentioned before, I had no clue what I was doing when I was starting. So yeah, I was probably learning more than teaching other kids and other players how to play the game.
Yeah.
It's a little bit less now, but there's the cliche that in life you never stop learning.
Yeah.
So I watched a really interesting video on the mental process that batters should go through,
Mm.
and that just clicked to me like, how can I integrate that into my coaching?
Mm.
And yeah, I've been doing it for 6 years now, which in the grand scheme of things is not a very long time, but for me, it's a pretty much a quarter of my life I've been coaching.
Yeah.
And there's still every day, every week, there's still something new that
Mm.
I'm experiencing and thinking, well, how can I now put this learning, this stuff that I've learned now, how can I now teach that to other kids and do it in a way that makes sense to them as well.
Yeah. And what are the new things that you have discovered?
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, the technical stuff, not so much, and it's not to be said that I know everything about the technical side of cricket, but for me, I've been really big on the mental side of the game. How can you reflect properly and then release that reflection from your mind? So if you played a bad ball, how can you problem solve in that time and then go straight away? All right, I've focused on the past for a couple seconds, and now it's time to stay present again and focus on what's happening right now. And that process is so hard to put into words, you know, because for a kid, it's not really something they think about until you tell them to think about it, you know. And then my stuff that I'm doing at Sydney Cricket Club, I've got women that are on the cusp of playing WBBL and on the cusp of playing for New South Wales, and even they, you know, how can you make those small mental adjustments that can help you transform you from a player that plays well for 20 balls to a player that can play well for 100 to 150 balls. So it's really interesting working with players at really different levels because the issues still tend to remain the same, you know. But it's then just how do you address it, and how can you communicate differently to those different levels to make sure that they're getting the most out of their time.
Yeah, like communicating athlete coach relationship, that's really important. And
The most important.
yeah, but the way you build it, the way you keep the foundation, the way you build trust, like I think that's really important. Because now,
Absolutely.
like there's such a big difference between like knowing all the technical aspect of a sport and coming up with the best drills. But if there's trust uh, between the athlete and the coach, I think
Absolutely.
it plays a huge role than just those technical aspects. Um, because especially in cricket, like yeah, you need to be like technically very sound, and it's a very technical sport. But in the end, like if you spend enough time with the drills, you might get there. But yeah, the coach when he comes in and he says you, oh, I trust you with this shot, you can do better. Now, those if the trust is already built there, the athlete like takes it on very seriously, not seriously, but like he believes in you, so he'll reflect on himself or herself even more. So I think yeah, is that also
Absolutely.
yeah, and is that also your one way of looking at coaching philosophy?
Yeah, it's definitely athlete first, my coaching philosophy. In the past, cricket for a very long time has been a little bit stuck in the past where to like it's about the coach, right? And then the players have to adapt to how the coach coaches. Well, for me, it's totally the opposite.
Yeah.
It should be how can the coach adapt to what the player needs, right?
Yeah.
And one player might need some really tough love, where you're a little bit more direct and you just tell them how it is. Another one you might have to sandwich it a little bit, where you say, oh, you're really great at this. I think you can improve in this, and you should be working on this. But I also think you do this really well, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a one size fits all philosophy, and it can't be anymore because it is the modern game. It's about the player and how does the player, what does the player need to feel good. That's definitely what it's centered around. The other part of my philosophy, I'd say, is I always like to ask myself the question, how would I like to be coached in this situation?
Yeah.
Because in the past I've experienced as a player that I've had to adapt to what the coach is trying to say rather than what the coach should be saying to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
Um, And it's not so much how would I like to be coached, but it's more the question of how would this player like to be coached?
Yeah.
Knowing them as a person, what's the best way to communicate to this player? Which kind of ties into what I just said about player first. That's as simple as it is. If you gave me two words to describe my coaching philosophy, it would be player first.
Yeah. No, and yeah, it makes sense because yeah, like everyone, we are so unique, all of us, but especially at kids, when you see kids that young, uh, yeah, you need to have that approach. But also, I think it's a very difficult job. You say it with such ease, but I think it's really difficult for you to uh, change your coaching style so quickly because you need to uh, understand what the athlete needs and then shift your coaching and maybe also your personality a little bit to that kid. But it's not easy, especially when you have group coachings going on and you have one kid that needs tough love and then one kid who needs more technical knowledge, and then suddenly you have to always like uh, try to gauge who needs what and also like deliver at the same point. I think it's easier said than done.
I totally agree. For me, it's I especially for my team coaching. It's a little bit different for the private coaching because it's much easier to build a relationship when it's just one-on-one, right? And you have just that time with that person to understand who they are. But
Yeah.
in my team coaching, I remember when I started at Sydney Cricket Club last season, I didn't really do any coaching for the first 3-4 weeks that I was there because I wanted to just build that relationship and understand each individual player first before I gave my opinion on what I felt they needed to improve. So it's not even player first, it's person first, right? How quickly and how well can you establish a relationship with the person,
Yeah.
and then how can you establish a relationship with the player?
Yeah.
And that's actually probably the part of my job that I enjoy the most is being able to get to know a lot of different characters and having to adapt and to change. It makes it a little bit exciting and keeps me on my toes. There's never a boring day with my club coaching. I can tell you that for sure.
Yeah.
And that's down to all the different characters and personalities that you'll see around the club.
Yeah. And till now, what has been your like best coaching period that you have realized, oh, your athletes have done really well, and you felt like you did a good job?
Yeah, probably in the last year. So I started at Sydney Cricket Club. I did my first full season of club coaching. I never did any team coaching in the Netherlands. It was I turned up for training and I organised and managed training sessions, and then I might turn up for the odd game here and there, and did quite a bit of private coaching in the Netherlands as well. But I've never actually for a full season was there at training and there at games week in week out. My first season here did really well. Qualified for the finals. Absolutely dominated in the semi-final against the team that finished first in the whole competition,
Mhm.
and then made it to the grand final, and unfortunately missed out by 10 runs, lost by 10 runs in the grand final, which was really heartbreaking. But you look at the flip side as well, the progression that the players have made over that season. A really young team. To see them progress over the season was really impressive, and really proud of that development. But also, I don't say it enough probably, but really proud of myself that in my first full season of club coaching, I've taken the team to a grand final straight away, and on another day, we could have won that game by 10 runs. It was that close.
Yeah.
So to be able to do that in my first full season of club coaching was really satisfying. It's just that little, always that little piece in the back of your head where you can focus on negativity a little bit sometimes and think, well, what could I have done differently to have just gone that one step further? But no, I feel in a really good spot with my coaching philosophy and my style. And hopefully this season I can go one step further with my team.
Yeah,
That's the goal.
yeah, I think it's a right energy that you are in right now, and yeah, I think great things will come out of that. But what are some
Hopefully.
things that you think are needed to be fixed, or not fixed, but you can do better?
It's a really good question. I think there's probably times where I doubt myself a little bit, or I maybe hold back a little bit. I'm not saying I'm going to shout like be full on. That's not what I mean with hold back. But I've in the past I've struggled with that confidence as a coach. I'd say it's much less now than what it was even half a year, 2 years ago, right? But having not because I haven't had a professional background in the game as well. There's always that sense of how can I stand apart from the rest of the coaches here? What can I do to just be different or be that step, take that step to the next level? I'd say that's one of the goals that I've set out for myself this season. I've just started pre-season today. Is just be confident. Don't be afraid to. If you say the wrong thing, you say the wrong thing. Technically, or you can always say, "I've actually changed my mind there."
Yeah.
And this is maybe the better way to approach it. But for me, it's better to say it than feel like you're holding back and regretting not saying or doing something in that situation. I'd say that the willingness to learn. I mean, I spoke before about how much I enjoy learning, but can always keep learning. So just being, you can sometimes as a coach get into that mindset of, well, I've done this for this long now. I've learned everything there is to know, and you kind of get stuck. You kind of get stuck in your own way, in your ways a little bit. For me, just always being open and receptive to feedback and to new knowledge. That's something that I really want to get right and keep doing this season.
Yeah, especially like when you're learning, I think the technical aspect of a sport, it's easily, you can grab it easily over time.
Yep.
But I was talking to a teacher, I think it was like a month ago, and I remember that now. Is okay, so that teacher, I think it's the same way it works in like coaching as well. So that teacher was talking to me about how when she was young, how much energy she had, of like, oh, she was trying to like change like perspective, or making sure like the students learn everything. And then she talked about when she was 55 years old, about to retire. So of course the energy went down, but she mentioned one thing about uh, how she has started to recognize students, because they were every year, every 2, 3 years, the students were changing. But she started to recognize students, like which students are the troublemaker, which students, like, she got very used to the behaviors of students.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that goes with coaching as well. It's like the more you experience different kids, you'll understand like, okay, like what kind of students there are, and how you talk to them. So I think
100%.
so I think yeah, with experience, that's why like some coaches who are experienced, how calm they are, because they understand the athletes, the kids way better. So I think it's the same analogy that I'm taking from her teaching experience to this coaching, and it makes it makes some sense to me.
Absolutely. I think that's probably the hardest part of the job, especially when you're coaching kids, is
Oh yeah.
which ones are the troublemakers, and how well can we keep them in line to make sure that they don't affect the rest of the group.
Yeah.
For the most part, they're good kids, but you got a couple there that you're like, mate, come on,
Yeah.
just pack it in, please. Just
Yeah.
give me an hour of focus here, and then you can go back to annoying everyone and screaming and shouting and whatever.
Yeah. And in retrospect, it looks like, oh, they're just having fun.
Yeah,
It's just what kids do. But that at that particular moment when you're there, I mean, it's the most annoying thing. But yeah. Uh, and what do you think about Vaibhav Suryavanshi?
mate, what a talent.
Because we are talking about kids, so a kid who's making like shockwaves across the whole sport.
Yeah,
Just 14 years of age, and how do you like? It's he is a prodigy for sure,
absolutely.
the
Obvious.
maturity that he plays with. Like this, I don't think I remember when it was his first match in IPL. I was like, is he really 14 years of age? And I was like, oh, okay, I'm not sure about this. But when he got out, he started crying. When he was walking back, he was crying, and then like, okay, yeah, that's
Yeah, he
legit.
might be 14. Yeah,
Yeah,
what a talent, obviously. Uh, I think we should get away from this. Is he really 14? Obviously, I think that more comes from a sense of disbelief where it's like,
yeah,
I mean, I was about a meter tall when I was 14, and I looked like a stick. And then you see this kid's bat swing is he's got one of the quickest bat swings I've ever seen, and
yeah,
he hits that ball so cleanly, and you just thinking, how is this possible? What was I doing at 14? And
mm,
then thinking, wow, now this guy's playing IPL. I think it's really important that and I mean, this is never going to happen because it's India, and you know how crazy, that especially from the media side, how much pressure they put on cricketers. But this kid, he's still a kid, right?
yeah,
You and he has the expectations now placed on him that you should be placing on a 25, 26, 27-year-old veteran cricketer, right? That's played the professional game for 5 to 8 years already, right?
yeah.
This he will go through bad periods. I know that
Oh yeah,
because
yeah, definitely. I think at that young age, any kind of pressure will take you. Right now, I think he's it's the novelty factor that's coming in. Uh, but yeah, like sooner or later, he's gonna have problems. But I think if with the right system and the right support, I think he has the talent now. It's just a
absolutely.
matter of going through the
Yeah.
waves and riding through it. I think he'll do good eventually.
Yeah,
Uh,
I saw that he was made vice captain of the East Zone
yeah,
domestic cricket team. I don't know if that's the greatest decision to put on a kid at 15 years old, but what I heard it was just so that he can improve his leadership abilities. But I don't know if a kid at 15 needs to work on his leadership abilities when you have guys that have been playing the professional game for 10, 15 years around you. You can just learn naturally,
yeah,
and let that come later. But I mean, yeah, we'll go back. What a talent! Definitely a kid. He's still got the baby face. So is very interested to see where he is in 2, 3 years time. He's already played for India.
yeah,
He'll play IPL for the rest of his career, just off
yeah,
the last two seasons that he's
yeah,
played. So yeah, I think as you correctly said as well, it's like how do you manage his mental side that he
mm,
either doesn't get too big for his boots, where he thinks that he can do whatever he wants
yeah,
because he is the player he already is at 15.
yeah,
But also, how do you manage him to make sure that when he goes through that eventual bad period that every professional athlete goes through, how do you then manage him to make sure that he comes out of that a better player and a better person?
mm.
So be very interested to see how he does. As long as he doesn't score any runs against Australia, we'll be all good.
Well, I think. I don't want to say Australia. He's going to score against every team. At least in T20, I feel like there's no
Absolutely.
stopping. Like for him, I think the bowler, the team doesn't matter at all. He's just a kid who likes to swing a bat.
Yep, yep. And I
And
think
I
that's
think
what
that's what
makes him
makes him
so
so
good at the
good at the
moment
moment
is
is
Mm,
he just
he
wants
just
to
wants to
hit.
hit.
You know, I don't. I think
I
if you'd
think if you'd
ask him,
ask
he's
him, he's
probably
probably
not
not
thinking
thinking
about his
about his
game so
game so
much. He's
much.
just
He's
like,
just
all right,
like,
I
all right,
see
I
the
see the
ball is
ball is
there,
there,
and I'm just
and
going
I'm
to
just
go
going to
hit
go
it.
hit
I'm
it.
going to
I'm
go
going to
hit
go
it
hit
into
it
the
into the
stands.
stands.
It's
yeah,
it's it's as simple as that.
yeah,
He
He
plays like
plays
a
like a
kid,
kid,
yeah,
and that's a
and that's
good
a good. That's
that's
a
a
compliment.
compliment. That's
That's
a
that's a
good
good
thing.
thing.
yeah.
He
He
has the
has the
maturity,
maturity,
obviously,
obviously,
but you can
The
also
freedom.
just see
the
the freedom that he plays with.
Mhm.
I don't think there's a consequence.
consequence.
Like he's
Like
not
he's not
thinking of the
thinking of the
consequences of
consequences of
getting
getting
out.
out.
Mhm.
He's just
He's just
trying his
trying his
best,
best,
and
and
his
his
best
best
is
is
very, very
very
good.
good.
So
So
Mhm.
yeah, all good luck to him. Hopefully, hopefully it keeps going on up from here.
Yeah.
And
All right, Abel, we are almost at the end of the podcast, and
yep,
I have a small game for you. It's
let's do it.
yeah, it's just rapid fire. So be quick to answer. You can take your time later to explain it, or if you want to
Sure.
talk about it a bit more. But yeah, you just have to be quick at answering. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Test cricket or T20?
Test cricket.
Batting or bowling?
Batting.
Fast bowling or spin?
Oh, fast bowling.
Virat Kohli or Steve Smith?
Steve Smith.
MS Dhoni or Ricky Ponting?
Ricky Ponting, mate.
You're
Although
picking.
I love MS Dhoni. I love MS Dhoni, but mate, can't go past Ricky Ponting. Come on.
Yeah. Okay. MSG or Lords?
Lords.
IPL or Big Bash League?
IPL.
Winning by 1 run or winning by 10 wickets?
Oh, winning by 10 wickets.
Coach or captain? Who has the tougher job?
Captain.
Only player from the history you'd love to coach?
Steve Smith.
Steve Smith. One player from his one bowler you would never want to face?
Brett Lee.
One batter you trust to chase 20 runs in the last over?
Virat Kohli.
If you could change one rule in cricket, what would it be?
Wow. Probably the wide rule. Down leg.
Down leg.
Needs to be a little bit more leeway there.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. If I had to change it, I would say like uh, like making the format even shorter. I think I don't want to see T10s.
No, absolutely not. I was thinking more the rules in the game itself.
Oh yeah.
I just think there's so much advantage that the batters get nowadays
Yeah.
that there needs to be something, maybe not the wide rule, but there needs to be something introduced that levels the playing field a little bit more for bowlers. Because I feel like it is just a batter's game at the moment,
Yeah.
and there needs to be something changed there that allows for a more balanced
Yeah.
battle between bat and ball.
Yeah. They've always tried to make the balance, but it just happens to be a batsman game in the end.
Yeah. Unfortunately. And
Yeah.
I'm a batter, but as a coach and as a viewer of the game, I love to see a balanced game between bat and ball. I don't actually like seeing teams hit 250, 300 runs.
Yeah.
And I was at the game where India hit almost 300 runs against Bangladesh back
Mm.
in
Mm.
2024, and it was great to watch. But at the same time, it's like give the bowlers a little chance here, man.
Yeah.
Like give them something. So yeah.
And that makes a big impact on why then kids don't want to bowl. Like everybody wants to be a batsman then.
Yeah.
And because they see and understand very quickly, oh, if you're a bowler, you're just gonna have a terrible time.
100%. Yeah.
All right.
It also goes to why batters just want to have a swing now. Like you
Yeah.
see kids, they only believe in swinging, and as a coach, you're trying to play straight, play late, get that on the ground,
Yeah.
get your head over the ball, and they're like, yeah, well, I saw Vaibhav Suravanshi doing that.
Yeah.
Why can't I? It's like, well, mate, I don't think you're Vaibhav. No offense to you, brother, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. Last question. Your all-time cricket goat.
Oh wow. Statistically, you can't really go past Jacques Kallis, can you?
Oh man. Oh man. I haven't heard that name in such a long time. But
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, a test
Best all-rounder.
average, test average of over 50 with the bat and 30 with the ball, and he took 300. I think it was 300 or 400 test wickets,
Yeah.
and scored 15,000 test runs. I mean, I think if you were a batter, you would take 15,000 test runs. If you were a bowler, you would take
Take those
300, 400 test wickets, and he's done both. So, that's probably my answer.
Yeah. Amazing, man. You did very well.
Thank you.
You were very
Appreciate
quick.
it.
You were very quick with the answers. Nice. All right.
A couple of those.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing your time with us and talking about your experiences. And everyone who's watching, again, please, if you want to hear more amazing conversations like this, please like, share, and subscribe to Thrive with Sahil. And Abel, again, thank you so much for coming. And
Thank you very much for having me.
yes. All right, guys. Till next time.